You can take action all you want. You can choose to struggle all you wish. But as long as you're feeling bad about your current reality, as long as you're feeling bad about your present, the moment you stop feeling good about your present and about what the future might hold for you, the moment you start worrying about what the future holds for you, start living in that fear of your future actually turning against you, which pushes you deep into survival, nothing really seems to be working out in your favor. Things stop actually working out in your favor. And I've done this so many times before. I've taken actions against all odds. I've taken action against so much resistance from within me. I've taken action against fears, against my fears, and against what I felt I was currently aligned with, which stems from my current self-limiting beliefs, which stems from perhaps a trigger that triggered a deep self-limiting belief from within me. It never really worked out well for me. No matter how much I struggle, no matter how many actions I take, it doesn't really go my way as long as I'm not feeling good about my present, as long as I'm not fulfilled with how my life currently is and trusting in what the future holds for me. In other words, the moment you stop trusting the process, the moment you stop trusting in yourself, is the exact same moment that everything stops working out for you. And I still currently take action sometimes, against how I'm feeling, against the resistance that's stemming from within me. Among all of my fears and worrying, it's just because we hear it all the time, consistent action. Take action. Taking action is all that matters. Take actions against all odds. Struggle against your fears, but continue to take action, even if you feel bad, even if you're worrying and living in fear of what the future might hold for you. Just keep taking action. It's gonna work out. And I still do it sometime, out of survival. That's actually a survival mechanism. That's based on survival of the fittest. The ego is always driven by action. The ego is always driven by doing something. It wants to keep doing something in order to feel as if it has a chance at survival, as it's still joining in the survival race, in the rat race, right? That's the ego. And once you stop taking actions upon those feelings coming from the ego, those triggers coming from the ego, it starts making you feel bad and as if you're gonna lose everything you're working so hard for, as if you're getting so far away from all of your dreams and desires. That's how the ego is designed. But the truth is, whenever you start feeling so much resistance coming from within you, the moment you start feeling so many mixed emotions and mixed feelings towards your future, towards your present, mainly towards your present, when you don't feel good about your present, when you're just fearful, when your major momentum is towards fear, worrying, and anxiety, and perhaps turning into resentfulness and despising your life, despising your present, anger, madness towards your presence, whenever the majority of your momentum, the majority of your emotional energy is towards that direction, that's a very good sign for you to stop, for you to take a break, to relax for a moment, and to reconnect, to re-explore, to explore, to allow yourself to feel, to give yourself permission to experience all of those emotions that are surfacing up. If you've been on your journey for some time and if you've been taking actions and you were feeling relatively good, and suddenly you start feeling you don't feel bright, you don't feel good about your present, you don't feel good about your future, you start feeling as if perhaps all that you're doing is not gonna lead to anything, is not gonna produce the results you are trying to, then that's a very good sign that there is something surfacing from within you that needs resolving. And that's when you have to give yourself permission to feel everything. Because through feeling, the disillusion happens. Through feeling everything that's trying to be felt, everything that's surfacing up, you start opening space, you start opening yourself more and more for the future, for what the future holds for you. You start allowing yourself to trust, you start, life is all about the balance, life is about cycles. There is gonna be some times when you need to take a break, when you need to stop, hustling and grinding and taking small actions even, and just give yourself space to feel all that is. Because once you allow yourself to feel those emotions, once you allow yourself to feel the negativity, the sadness, the fear, the worrying, the anxiety, it takes its course. Guess what? It takes its course and it disappears and it dissolves eventually. But the more you keep trying to go against it, to tell yourself that I should not feel this way because, or although I feel this way, I don't care because I'll just keep taking action and that's what matters, and I'm gonna be led to the results I'm seeking, to my pursuits. That's just you trying to fake it till you make it. And it could work out. It could work out, sure. It's gonna be matter creating matter, like Joe Dispenza always says, rather than energy creating matter, which is our truth, which is our birthright, which is the ultimate truth to everything that's come into creation. It was created out of energy. Everything is energy and it's vibrating on a specific frequency that gives it its image. Whether it's an event, an external event, whether it's something within you, whether it's just a solid object, a living thing, a non-living thing, it does not matter. And once you realize this, you're gonna stop being matter creating matter, which is so much of a struggle, which is so much of a suffering experience, which is so much more about suffering than it is actually about creation and loving life and enjoying your journey in life and enjoying your creations in life, because you're choosing to go against your alignment all the time. And while that might be necessary at some points on your journey, while you actually might need to go against your alignment, when your alignment is continuously about fear and about worrying and about distrusting and about doubting your purpose, your path, then consistent action against that alignment will do you good. But when you were already on your path, and then from time to time those feelings keep surfacing up, this means that this is a new blockage that you have to heal through, that you have to resolve before you get to the next step, before you unlock your next stage, before you unlock the next phase of your reality. And it's gonna keep blocking you, it's gonna keep serving as an obstacle on your path until you allow it to be felt, until you give it space, you open space for it to surface all the way from where it came, all the way to your head in which it was created, and bury it deep down in your deep energy centers, in your lower energy centers. And this is the reversal, this is the dissolution of your blockages. And so when something new surfaces up, when you were already doing all right and you were working, and then something suddenly, you start worrying, you start doubting, you start distrusting, you start relapsing to your old self. Perhaps if that was your old self, you start, be feeling that of the past. It means that there's something new coming up, and you have to give it its course. You have to give it permission to be felt until you heal through it. Think about it, feel where it's coming from, understand where it's coming from. Whether it requires perhaps some aspect of shadow work to be done to it, through it, in order for it to be fully dissolved, or it just wants to be felt. It was buried and not permitted to be felt for so long, and just want to be felt before it actually leaves your system, before it leaves your energy center. And so I realized that just mindlessly taking action towards whatever you think is your purpose, towards taking action that you think is leading you to your dream life, to your dream reality, to your purpose, just mindlessly, against all odds and against all emotions and against all emotional needs and bodily needs and your own mental needs, never really seems to produce the results you want out of that experience. And it simply ends up being another failed experience, which is just an experience that's here to teach you a lesson but not produce the results, not progress you further on your journey. Of course, it progresses you further on your internal journey, which in return actually progresses you further on your external journey, but it's not the progression you've actually been seeking. It's not something clear on, it's not an external result, it's not an experience that was meant to produce external results, but simply just internal results, and it serves as another lesson unless you give it permission, and it keeps repeating, and it's going to be repeated once again. You're going to remain stuck for some time, and it's going to be repeated until you give it allowance to take its full course. With that being said, thank you so much for tuning in to another video by AF's Conscious Frequency. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, because it helps me so much, and it helps this video find its way to many more others who might actually need it.